Hi friends, happy Diwali and season's greetings to all my students. Yes guys, I know that it is a time for festivities and families meeting together, but we can also do some amount of learning today. And I have come to you with a list of very interesting mythological words. A lot of words in the English language have originated from Greek and Roman mythology, and you will notice that these words have very, very interesting stories behind them. And therefore, to remember these words is not very difficult because they are related to some kind of a lore, which is known as a story or a traditional myth related to Greek and Roman mythology. So let me take you through this list of words, guys. It is a very interesting list of words and it is not at all stressful to learn these words. Yes, I am going to go into the first lesson. Before that, I would like to finish the formalities. My name is Harpreet Kaur Dodi. I've done a master's in English literature. I have 16 years of teaching experience, guys, which is a very, very wide, eclectic experience. And I have trained students for exams like the CAT, MAT, XAT, SNAP, PGCET, Banking, GRE, GMAT, SAT, ACT, and TOEFL, guys. I also like to create content as I am a freelance writer. I've also done a diploma in journalism. Today, I am an educator with hashtag CatLive Daily. Yes, so please join me. The agenda of today's class is words on Greek mythology. Download the Telegram app. You can join the Telegram app with Harpreet Ma'am Unacademy chat, guys. Yes, the cat subscription is the best in the industry. You just have to pay 1,458 for 12 months and 875 for 24 months, which is very, very pocket friendly. In addition to which, if you use score 10, you will get a further 10% discount. Yes. So आज पढ़ना है Greek mythology के words. Yes, we will start with the first word, guys. There is a list of words here, and it is also followed by an exercise in the end. So, depending on what you are able to grasp in the first half of the lesson, you will be able to apply it to the exercise that comes in the end. So, the first one is we are talking about Atlas. Now, Atlas is a book of maps and it comes from Greek mythology. According to Greek lore, Atlas was condemned to carry the heavens on his earth. So that is why Atlas today is a person who is seen as carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders, right? So he was condemned to carry the heavens on his earth. So he is the strong man carrying the entire globe on his shoulders, right? The second one is Aegis. Aegis means guidance, control, or species. Aegis was the mantle and shield of Zeus. Zeus was the Roman king of the gods. So when you say that I am under the aegis of so and so, or if you say I'm standing under the aegis of Harpreet ma'am, that means you are under my mentorship, my guidance, and my control. And aegis was the shield of Zeus, the king of the gods. Then we have this very, very interesting, handsome man called Adonis. Adonis in Greek mythology was a youth of remarkable beauty and good looks. So today, if he says he thinks himself to be an Adonis, we are actually referring to a person who is very, very remarkably good looking and beautiful. Yes, now Achilles. Achilles is a very, very important character in Greek mythology, and there are many, many stories attached to Achilles, and particularly with the expression where we talk about Achilles' heel. Achilles was a Greek warrior who fought the Trojan War. And if you say that so and so's downfall became his Achilles' heel, then we are referring to this particular story, guys. It's a very, very interesting story. Let me tell you the story. When Achilles was born, his mother Thetis was given a boon by the gods to make him immortal. She was asked to dip the baby in the river Styx, but the heel with which she held him did not get wet, and this became his weak spot. During the Trojan War, Paris was a Greek hero, fired an arrow at Achilles' heel, and that is how they could kill him. Otherwise, it was difficult to defeat Achilles because he was immortal. He was made immortal. So every person, no matter how huge and tall a personality he may be, he always has one weak point, and today we call that expression as his Achilles heel. Right, guys? Yes, going to the next one is Amazon. The Amazons were mythical race of women warriors. So today they are strong women and female warriors. So if you say that she looks like an Amazon, then they are supposed to be very huge and tall built women, more like the warrior race. Now coming to the word ambrosia. Ambrosia is the food of the Greek gods and it is nectar. So you can see in the picture, guys, the pictorial representation of each of these words is very, very beautifully done by the what you call graphics team for me. Ambrosia is the food of the Greek gods, just like we talk about Amrit, right? We talk about Amrit, and this is supposed to be the food of the gods, and it is also called nectar. Eugean stables. Eugeus owned stables which hadn't been cleaned for many, many years. One of the tasks of Hercules was to clean them up. So, to clean the Eugean stables means to clean up the mess. So, any particular place, guys, which becomes very, very messy, we say we need to clean the Eugean stables. That means to clean up the mess. Not only should we know what is the meaning of the word, but what is the current usage of the word is very, very important, and that is why the relevance of Greek mythological words. Yes, Cassandra. Another interesting character in Greek mythology was Cassandra. She was the daughter of King Priam of Troy. The god Apollo gave her the gift of prophecy, but she later added a curse that nobody would ever believe her prophecies. So she is a very interesting character because she was given the boon by the gods to be able to prophesy. What do you mean by prophecy? Prophecy means to predict the future. But the curse that was given to her, on the other hand, was that people would not believe her prophecies. So, quite a controversial character was Cassandra. Centaurs. Look at the picture, guys. Look at the picture. It has a pictorial representation. They are again mythical characters. They are half human and half horse like characters. Okay? Yes. Then we have chimera. Chimera is a word we often use, guys. Today's relevance also. So, if there is any particular situation or any kind of an idea or a project which is not workable, you say it is a chimerical idea. It means not being able to put something into practical use. So chimera had the head of a lion, the body of a goat, and a serpent's tail. Today it means visionary, unreal, and extremely fanciful idea. So any idea which is not workable, you say it is a chimerical idea. Yes, going to the next one, Cyclops. Cyclopean comes from the name of these giants who were called Cyclops, who had a single round eye in the middle of the forehead. And cyclo meaning round and ops meaning eyes. And you can also see in this particular picture, a picture of the Cyclops is given to you. Right? So very often you will find the story of the Cyclops in reading comprehension where they are talking about the single-eyed giants, and giving it as an example for many what you call concepts that are being discussed in the paragraph. We then have Dionysus. Dionysus is the god of wine. Again, a mention can be made to wine, and the mention of the god of wine is Dionysus. Look at the picture, guys, it's amazingly done. Elysian Fields is the part of the underworld. So, underworld relating to heaven, hell. Elysian Fields is the part of the underworld. Underworld is supposed to be the world which exists below the earth. So, you have heaven above, you have earth in the middle, and the underworld or hell is called the underworld, guys. Yes, harpies. Harpies are evil creatures. They are part women and part birds. Again, the picture is the best representation. Harpies are supposed to be very, very shrewish, scheming, and cunning women. So, if there is any reference to harpies, it will be a negative connotation, guys. Yes, then we have Helen. Helen was the queen of Troy, and they say that the war of Troy was fought over the beauty of this particular princess. And the expression here, guys, a face that launched 1,000 ships, is an expression which is used in all of literature and poetry very, very rampantly to indicate that she was the cause of the war of Troy, which went on for 100 years in the middle of Europe, right? So therefore, Helen was known for her beauty, her grace, and the reason that caused the launch of the 1,000 ships. So the Helen of Troy related to beauty and grace. Hector. Hector was a Trojan hero and he was killed by Achilles. Yes, again, Hector is a person who is very, very intimidating. Intimidating, or you can also say a bully. So today, if there is a person in your office who is bullying you, then you can say that he is all the time hectoring people around him. So he is synonymous with a bully. We then have cornucopia. Cornucopia is another important aspect, guys. It is a symbol of plenty. It consists of a goat's horn overflowing with flowers, fruit, and corn. So today, cornucopia is a symbol of plenty or even abundance. I could also say abundance. We then have Hercules. Hercules was a hero. He performed a series of heroic tasks, hence he was known as Hercules. A man with a lot of courage, valor, and determination is known as Hercules. Hydra. Now, Hydra headed monster was a monster with 9 heads, as you can see in the picture, guys. And he was a monster who was killing many people. So, the best way that Achilles was the one who killed the Hydra headed monster, and how did he do that? He employed an assistant. Why was the Hydra head difficult to kill? Was because if common man cut one of his heads off, 2 other heads would grow in that place. So every time you cut a head, 2 other heads would grow in that place of that particular head. So what Achilles did is he employed an assistant. Every time he cut off a head, he had an assistant apply fire on that particular area so that 2 heads would not grow, and the system of applying fire is known as to cauterize. Cauterize is the word. Cauterize means to apply fire to a particular area so that 2 other heads would not grow, guys. So you also learn cauterize with Hydra headed monster. Today, if you have any organization which has many branches, you also call it Hydra headed without using the negative connotation. Yes, labyrinthine. Labyrinthine is an underground maze. As you can see in the picture, guys, if you went inside this particular maze, you could not come out. So this was a labyrinthine which was there in Greece, and people got lost once they went there. So labyrinthine relating to an underground maze. Minotaur. Minotaur was a monster with a human body and a bull's head. Every 9 years, 7 young men and 7 young women were devoured by him. So he used to eat up men and women, and he is also a huge monster. Narcissist is an important word which we come across very often in our reading comprehension exercises, as you would have. As you can see, this is the young man who looked at his image in the river and fell in love with himself. So narcissistic people are those who are in love with themselves and their own looks, and therefore they are very, very vain and proud people, vain and proud about their looks. So all the selfie lovers of today are supposed to be narcissistic. Mount Olympus. Mount Olympus is the abode of the gods. It is the dwelling place of the Greek gods, and as you can see, the picture here is relating to Mount Olympus. Then you have Pandora. Pandora, the name comes from Pan meaning all, and Dora meaning gifts. There's an interesting story of Pandora, guys. She was according to Greek mythology, the first woman who came to earth. So God created Pandora with all the gifts. And she was told all the gifts is all the qualities that humankind has, all the qualities and ethics and attributes that humankind has today. And she was sent with a box to earth, and she was given strict instructions not to open the box. But the woman that she was, curiosity got the better of her, and she opened the box and she let into the world all the evils that plague mankind today. All evils like adversity, envy, jealousy, hatred, all these are evils that came into the world, and she quickly closed the box. And what was left behind in the box was hope. So, in the middle of all our travails and travesties today, we still have hope with us. We live on hope. So, that is the story of Pandora, guys. Yes, so interesting story. Remember her for the woman who came to earth and let all the difficulties that mankind faces today into the world. Pegasus was a winged horse, again a mythical creature These are creatures which are created in Greek and mythological stories, guys. We don't know if they existed, but they are almost talked about in Greek lore and mythology. A very handsome horse with the wings that he had. Prometheus, another interesting person. He stole fire from Zeus and gave it to mankind. So he was the person who brought fire from the heavens and gave it to us on earth. And that is why today we are using fire in order to cook and many other facilities that we have. Sirens. What are sirens? Sirens are part birds and part women. They lived on an island with a rocky shore and they sang a song that passing sailors would sail towards them and get shipwrecked. So they were again these kind of very negative, shrewish, part bird, part women who misled the sailors on the high seas and caused them to get shipwrecked. Yes, so today also we said she is a siren means a very, very scheming woman. Yes, Thanatos, Than, the root Than means death. Than meaning death, and Thanatos was the god of the dead. Right. Zephyr. Zephyr was the god of the west wind and often referred to as being very, very pleasing and balmy wind. Yes, Zeus was the ruler of the Greek gods, as I told you. He was a very, very strong man, and he is often referred to as being very courageous and valorous man. Procrustean is a very interesting person, guys. He offered hospitality to the travelers. Now, he was a highwayman and an innkeeper. Innkeeper is a small hotel that used to be on the highways in ancient times. So, what he would do is every time anyone came to his inn, he would not let them go back. He would fit them somehow or the other. So, he made them fit in a bed by stretching their limbs if they were too short, or if they were too short, he cut off their limbs if they were too long. So any kind of a system where you are forced to fit in arbitrarily without voicing your differences is called a Procrustean system. It's more like a dictatorship. Any organization that you are made to fit in and you have to fit in there whether you like it or not, you have to stretch yourself, is known as a Procrustean system and often used a word today also, guys. Now we will do the exercises, guys. Let us understand how to mark these answers. The definition is given to you. You have to pick the answer. One who will deliver punishment to an evil person or wrongdoer is supposed to be nemesis. So nemesis means having to do with punishment and deliverance of punishment. It is also known as the act of retribution. Known as the act of retribution. Now, who was Proteus? Proteus was the old man of the sea. He could take any shape or form that he wanted. So he could become a horse or he could become a dog or a boulder or a tree, whichever form he wanted. So today a Proteus means or Protean means being very versatile or a person who is multitasking. Yes, as I told you, narcissist. Narcissist is a person who was full of self-love. Yes, Medusa. Now, Medusa, according to Greek mythology, was this particular monstrous woman who is described among human females as having very venomous snakes on her hair. So, her hair itself was many, many reptiles and snakes. So she is represented. If you go to any of the museums in Paris or in Florence, you will see Medusa being described as this particular woman who is very, very detestful to look at because her head is full of snakes, reptiles, and venomous creatures, guys. So this is Medusa. You will remember her if you visualize her with all the reptiles on her head, right? Yes. In the manner of a complex maze, as I told you, is labyrinthine, right? Yes, what is hermetic mean? Hermetic is a kind of a seal. Now, King Hermes was a person who created a seal, and a seal which cannot be broken is known as hermetic. Cannot be broken is known as hermetic. Now, what is Delphic? Delphic is a place where people went to listen to prophecies. Yes, it was a kind of a Delphic was a kind of the oracle of the Delphis is what it is called. So it was a kind of an edifice where people went and asked questions, and that particular Delphic would give them a prediction about their future. You must read about this a little more, guys, about Delphic. And what is Sibylline? Sibylline is a collection of utterances in Greek which is supposed to be in a very frenzied state. Frenzied state means you don't make anything of these utterances. Utterances means any kind of speech. Frenzied utterances is what it means, right? Any kind of crazy words which are being said is known as Sibylline. Gentle breeze, as I told you, what will be the gentle breeze is coming from Zephyr. Zephyr is the god of the west wind. Flora relating to flowers. Nectar is supposed to be ambrosia or the food of the gods. And Calypso is a goddess or a nymph who fell in love with Odysseus. She is a nymph who fell in love, Nymph, Nym guys, Nymph, who fell in love with Odysseus. Yes, so she is supposed to be a nymph, right? Yes, next question that we are going to do is an inexhaustible abundance of things we need is known as cornucopia. As I told you, it represents abundance. A museum is a place where artifacts are kept. We all know that. Yes, what is an acropolis? It is an ancient building in Athens. And what is Halcyon, guys? Halcyon is a place which is very, very happy, idyllic. Idyllic means perfect place. Okay? Everything there is very perfect and happy. A sacred object that was believed to have the power to preserve a city or state possessing it. What will be the answer here is a palladium. Yes, Palladium was a citadel which was at the entrance of Athens, and it was supposed to be the one which would protect the city of Athens. Yes, now harpies I already gave you, they are half women and half birds. Women and birds, I've already given you the picture for that. Now, phoenix is again, guys, a very, very important word. Phoenix is that particular bird which represents immortality. Yes, so the phoenix is a bird which rises from its ashes to live another 100 years, so it never dies. And ambrosia, again relating to nectar, Nectar. Okay? Yes. Coming to the sixth one, of pleasant countenance. Who is of pleasant countenance is Jovial. Jovial was again a representative of Greek mythology having a very, very pleasant face. Right? So, of pleasant countenance is face. Apollyon relating to god Apollo. Apollo was a god who was supposed to be a person known for his reason and culture. Yes, what does Jonesque refer to? Jonesque refers to Juno, who was known to be very tall and shapely, known for height and shape. And Olympian was one of the major dictators of Greece. Dictators of Greece. Yes. Okay, going to the next one. Highly improbable and fanciful, as I told you, is chimerical. Now, mercurial, somebody who keeps changing over and over again is known as mercurial. So we will call that person as changing. Now, stentorian is a loud, bellowing voice. Loud, bellowing voice is known as stentorian. Now, this comes from the name of a person called Stentor. Stentor was a person who was in the army in the War of Troy, and he had the voice of 50 men put together. So a loud bellowing voice is known as a stentorian voice. Cyclopes, as I told you, are monsters with single eyes on the forehead. Using few words, terse or concise is laconic. Now, Laconic comes from the name of a place called Laconia, and it was the capital of Sparta. Now, the people of Sparta were very, very austere people, and they used to live a very strict and severe life because it was a wartime lifetime. And if you went to Laconia and asked the citizens a question, they always answered in monosyllables, yes or no. So, Laconic today means uncommunicative. Yes, uncommunicative. Yes, guys, it means uncommunicative. Yes, Platonic comes from the name of Plato. Platonic today means platonic love, if I say, is there are two people whose minds seem to get along, but they have no sexual relationship, no sexual contact. So that is known as platonic love, right? Then you have what is known as Saturnine. Saturnine is supposed to be very sad and gloomy. A situation which is very, very sad and gloomy is known as Saturnine, coming from the planet Saturn. So people under the influence of Saturn are the ones who are sad and gloomy. Yes, Titanic meaning very huge. That is why the ship got the name Titanic. It means very huge. Okay, faithful advisor. Who is a faithful advisor? Is a mentor. That is why today you go to a mentor, a person who trains you. And who is a Hector? Now, Hector, I also told you, is a person who is a bully. Hercules is a strong man. And Prometheus is the person who brought fire to earth. Right? All these words have already been discussed. With the belief that pleasure is the goal of life, is whom do you think is that? Is Epicurean. Epicurean are people who are pleasure seekers. They only like to live a life of pleasures. Okay? Augustine is coming under the rule or period of King Augustus, which was a golden period in the life of the people. Spartan is very strict and austere living, as I told you guys. And it's the word here is Stygian. Stygian means relating to gloom. It comes from the word river Styx, which is supposed to be the river which flows at the entrance to hell. So that is why gloom and darkness is what is known as Stygian gloom. It should be Stygian. Yes, guys. So that is the end of today's class. Yes, the verbal ability section is taken care of in the evenings from 7 to 11 o'clock, guys. I take classes in the morning at 9:30. So please take the Unacademy subscription. We have live classes, interact with the educator, live poll test series, live doubt clearing sessions are there. Download the Unacademy Learning app, install the app, go for the plus courses. There are many courses there. Get your subscription. The CAT subscription is the best in the industry. It is just 1,458 for 12 months, 875 for 24 months, guys. If you use code 10, you will get a further 10% discount. We also train for NEET, JEE 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. So any of your brothers, sisters, cousins, anyone wanting to join Academy can use the code 10, guys. So subscribe, like, share, hashtag CatLive Daily, download the PDF and use the referral code CORE10 to get a 10% discount, guys. So that is the end of today's class. And season's greetings to you. Have a great Diwali. Bye-bye. Take care.